This is a follow-up to our most recent video about how the creepy personal letter and drawing that Donald Trump gave to Jeffrey Epstein for Epstein's 50th birthday had finally been made public. And as we discussed in that video, initially, the Trump White House responded with stunned silence. Well, now they found their words and they're responding in anger, insisting that this is still fake news and the signatures don't match and it's all a farce and the Wall Street Journal is going to pay even more for defamation. Trump and his team are panicking. But before we unpack all that, if you end up liking this video and you want to support the channel, please be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and alert bells before you go. All right, friends, as we discussed in a previous video, again, the Wall Street Journal publishes the photo of Trump's birthday letter that Trump called fake. Well, in response, the White House is finally speaking out. Not his signature. White House doubles down after Epstein letter is published, insists Trump did not write it. Let's take a look. The White House is doubling down on its denial that Donald Trump drew a body picture of a woman and signed it for accused sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein as part of a leather-bound birthday book. In a post on X, White House Press Secretary Karoline Leavitt claimed Trump did not sign the photo posted on Monday by House Oversight Committee Democrats in the Wall Street Journal. So let's take a look at Karoline Leavitt's response. Remember, in the initial article, she had nothing to say. She couldn't be reached for comment. Well, she addresses that too. She says, the latest piece published by the Wall Street Journal proves this entire birthday card story is false. As I've said all along, it's very clear Trump did not draw this picture and he did not sign it. Trump's legal team will continue to aggressively pursue litigation. Furthermore, the reporter who wrote this hatchet job reached out for comment at the exact same minute he published the story, giving us no time to respond. This is fake news to perpetuate the Democrat Epstein hoax. I'm curious if the reporter himself actually responded to Karoline Leavitt. We'll see. Let's see. He has not responded yet, other than just retweeting images and links to the article. So we'll see what happens. But I have a strong suspicion that they did not ask for comment the exact minute they published the article, right? The Wall Street Journal is a bit more professional than that. But she insists, aha, this picture actually proves that Donald Trump didn't do it and that Trump was right all along. And she's not alone. Taylor Budowich, who I believe is a deputy press secretary. Let me double check. Yep, Deputy White House Chief of Staff. Oh my gosh. Time for News Corps to open that checkbook. It's not his signature. Defamation, he said, posting a bunch of signatures which sure look like Donald's. We'll get to that in a moment. Let's get back to the article. So this is their new cope, right? Yeah, it's clearly defamation. The signatures don't match. This proves it. Eat shit, libtards. So it posts, the Mediaite article discusses Taylor Budowich's response. Trump is already suing News Corps, which owns the Wall Street Journal, for $10 billion, stemming from a July 17th story in which the Wall Street Journal reported on the existence of the letter. The photo released Monday shows the letter signed simply Donald. Budowich compared it to photos of Trump's complete signature to declare it wasn't real. But reporters quickly produced numerous examples of Trump signing only his first name. Reporter Andrew Feinberg with The Independent posted a photo of one such letter, writing, quote, "This letter from Larry King's estate sold at auction last month. So maybe not defamation? And look, looks exactly the same." The letter is signed simply Donald and bears a remarkable resemblance to the birthday letter. So does another book Trump signed for Epstein, a photo of which was published by the New York Times in July. David Enrich said, we also learned that Trump inscribed a book to Epstein back in 1997 saying, "You are the greatest," wrote the Times' David Heinrich. "We're publishing that here, as well as a previously undisclosed photo of Trump with Epstein and James Brown." And again, that was back in July. So, yeah, they're doubling down on this idea that the whole thing is just a fake. This actually proves it. They're doing the classic Trump maneuver. When facts stare you straight in the face, square in the face, and they are inconvenient, you just deny they exist. The sky is blue. You look at the sky and you go, no, it's not. It's red. No, it's blue. No, it's red, libtard. It's red. Sorry, facts don't care about your feelings. I'm going to go bask in this glow of this red sky that you think is blue. And then, of course, you have all the evidence. You have like a spectrometer out there saying, no, it's on the color spectrum. This is clearly blue. No, it's not. No, it's not. Fake news. And then you run away, right? So let's take a look at some of the other reactions because there's some really pathetic right-wing cope from this. Matt Rice, the Wall Street Journal releases their own analysis of the letter, comparing the signature on the Epstein birthday note to Trump's signature on letters to Hillary Clinton and George Conway, both of whom, of course, now regard Trump as a political enemy, and Trump certainly regards them as enemies. And again, the signature matches in both of these things. Not good. Nick Sortor, who's a MAGA Trump dipshit on Twitter, says, "Holy crap! The letter to Epstein, which Wall Street Journal claimed Trump signed, has been released, and the signature looks absolutely nothing like Trump's real signature. Trump is going to bankrupt the Wall Street Journal. Even if Trump just signs his first name, it still looks nothing like the signature on the birthday letter sent to Epstein." Gunther Eagleman, has his signature ever looked like this? There are glaring differences and likely won't be excused away by saying his signature morphed over time. And of course, Evan Loves Worf is mocking him in the comments section. It looks absolutely like Trump's signature back then. Oh my gosh. Keep trying. Cool story. These people are being brutally mocked as well. They should. They're pathetic. They're losers. Benny Johnson responded with, "Excellent signature comparisons same year. Trump's authenticated signatures in 1993 versus the signature from the fake letter purported to be from the same year." So Benny Johnson is trying to cope with this. John Favreau from Pod Save America says, "You're a moron," and responds with a quote tweet from Aaron Blake. "A bunch of Trump allies are claiming the Epstein birthday letter contains a signature that doesn't match Trump's, but there are a bunch of Donald signatures from the same era that look very much like the one on the Epstein letter. First image is from the Epstein letter." And then it has a bunch of side-by-side comparisons. Not good. Gavin Newsom, Democratic governor of California, he weighed in as well, mocking Vice President J.D. Vance, because J.D. Vance, of course, responded to, "Forgive my language, but this story is complete and utter bullshit. The Wall Street Journal should be ashamed for publishing it. Where's the letter? Would you be shocked to learn they never showed it to us before publishing it? Does anyone actually believe this sounds like Donald Trump?" To which Governor Newsom responds, "This aged nicely." Mehdi Hassan, friend of the show, says, number one, remember how Trump threatened to sue the Journal over this? Number two, at what point do reporters start saying, quote, "We don't believe anything Trump says or denies to us"? Shouldn't the default position at this point be, quote, "He's lying unless proven otherwise"? I mean, come on. I totally agree. That's exactly the standard. But of course, unfortunately, in this both sides false equivalence media, where the media is scared of Trump, even though they probably personally don't like him, they're inclined to give him the benefit of the doubt, even though he does not deserve it. He's by far the most pathological and prolific liar we've ever seen in politics, infinitely worse than any Democrat, and yet the default assumption is he's as honest as any Democrat, which is absurd, and journalists should know better. Just following up, just refreshing the page to see if any response to this, but you know what? I will point out, I will play some clips of Trump just as a refresher here, just take us back down memory lane. So here's a reminder. Here's some of the things that Donald Trump said regarding this letter and this drawing when the story broke initially.
For the election, yeah.
Do you think that drawing, I think I heard you say something the other day, that the drawing that was the subject of the Wall Street Journal report.
I don't do drawings. I'm not a drawing person.
Do you think it was fraudulent?
I don't do drawings. Sometimes people say, would you draw a building? And I'll draw 4 lines and a little roof, for charity stuff. But I'm not a drawing person. I don't do drawings of women, that I can tell you. They say,
except it sure looks like you did. What about another one?
Epstein was always a very controversial guy. I was at a very high position, pretty much all my life. In all fairness, I've been doing this for a long time. I had the top show on television. I had the #1.
Doing what? What is it that you've been doing a long time related to Epstein? That's an interesting thing to say. Let's continue.
Bestsellers. I had everything, right? And I was a very successful business guy. He was a very controversial. Who would do a controversial drawing? Now, with that being said, they say there were many letters done by many people, and many big people, big successful people. But I just don't. When you talk about files.
Yeah, and again, like the clips are just being resurrected left, right, and center with him denying this. And again, he's suing the Wall Street Journal for $10 billion, and it looks like they got him dead to rights. So, folks, there you have it. The initial response from the Trump White House is to just lie and be like, sure, we denied that a letter existed, but the fact that this letter existed actually proves that we're right, libtards. Bye, and then they run away. It's pretty pathetic stuff. Be sure to follow this relentlessly. I'm sure Karoline Leavitt and Trump people are going to be made fun of relentlessly about this, and I can't wait for Trump to be asked about it the next time he's in front of a camera. In the meantime, let me know what you think in the comments.